Hope you all doing well. This is Marvin with Preaching Sense. Back at you with another video. Been away for a little bit. Just been, hey, life has been lifing. So just a lot of things going on, but I'm glad to be back with another video. So hopefully everyone's doing well. Let's talk about spring. I mean, spring is already here. We're in April, and I thought it would be good to talk about maybe some stronger spring fragrances. I think certain parts of the country, like out here in the Bay Area, it's not super hot at all. So I think these fragrances will be good for as it starts transitioning into the warmer months. So first one of my favorites, Ganymede. Ganymede here. A little bit of a glare, but I've talked about Ganymede before. Ganymede is the more I wear it, the more it's becoming one of my favorite fragrances. I might just jump out on a limb and say it's probably in the top 15 that I own just because of its uniqueness. It opens up with this mineral, suede, saffron type of combo. You'll get this, it has this, that saffron will give it a little bit of a leathery nuance to it. And it also might come from the osmanthus accord in there. And that osmanthus accord in this Ganymede, it gives it this kind of a leathery, milky apricot vibe to it, which is just very unique when you combine it with the mineral kind of suede feel to it. So it'll give you this kind of a warm, spicy woods in there as well. And then it has this immortelle accord, and then that's what really makes it work in the spring as well, where you get this honey and tea vibe. So it's very unique. You can get this one in the $120, $130, depending on the size, of course, range and up, if you get a bigger bottle. But I think it's just a nice, unique one, and it really compliment getter. I wore this a couple weeks ago, got a compliment when I was in Walgreens. So it's just, someone literally stopped me in my tracks, was like, "What are you wearing? It smells so good." So very unique. Get your nose on it if you have it. It's one that you would definitely sample. It's not I wouldn't call it mass appealing, but get your nose on that one. Okay. And these are stronger fragrances for the spring. So please note, these aren't your typical light, fragrances. So I wouldn't wear these in super high heat. Next one is going to be For Beau De Jour. For Beau De Jour. You can see it. Seems like there's a little bit of a glare, but hopefully you all can see that. This right here, I don't think I've featured this too much, but if you like lavender, this one is going to be right up your alley. I mean, For Beau De Jour it's a lavender bomb, if I had to say. It gives a nice oak moss accord in there. There's kind of a little bit of a mintiness in there as well. You'll get some patchouli that will come out as it develops, and some rosemary. So it's very green, but it's really, the lavender is the star player in this fragrance. So if you don't like lavender, this is not going to be for you. So For Beau De Jour, you can get this one for about $100 to $120, and I enjoy it. It's a little bit more of an old school, kind of a little bit of a barbershop style type of fragrance in some ways, but just definitely an old school vibe to it. So this is one I would wear more mature, people in the 30s, 40s, 50s, and up. A little bit more mature. It's not really one of you young bucks out there. So get your nose on For Beau De Jour. Okay, next one. Now these are strong spring fragrances. This one right here is one that really, it has to be a cool spring day. But this is Amouage Epic Man. Usually I would wear this one in the fall and in the winter. But if it's a cool spring day, I will still pull this one off. And look at that one. We call this the Green Beast. This one right here, it opens up with this pink pepper, so you're gonna get the spices when it opens up. You'll get cardamom, which gives it a nice, cardamom always gives a nice warm spices baking in the kitchen. So maybe kind of a crisp apple pie type of vibe. In this one particular one, it has a saffron accord in there. The saffron is kind of gives you, it's gonna come off as this, it gives you the saffron with the mixed with the honey and the earthiness to it as well. That's the kind of combo that this particular fragrance will give you. Has a little bit of rose in it. The rose is not a star player in this one, I would say. It has some myrrh, which is kind of a sweet amber accord in there. Then as it dries down, you're going to get into the sandalwood, you'll get into the cedar, and of course this is very smoky, so you're going to get into the incense. A lot of people might think this is too much for the spring, but I think it works, especially out here in the Bay Area, because we still get temperatures in the 50s. It could be sunny out in the 50s and what have you. This one, I can still pull this one off. Not much longer, but this is definitely one that's a stronger one to wear in the spring. But I would be careful with it because it is a beast, and this thing projects. So get a sample of it if you are interested in it. I'm running you about $130 to $150, depending on the size. Okay, so next one on the list here is going to be another one, back-to-back Amouage. So this one of the nicer bottles that I have is Amouage Journeyman. And you can see here, beautiful red and gold bottle. And doesn't surprise you for Amouage to have such a nice bottle. This one right here, you're going to get that Sichuan pepper in there accord. It is so you're going to get some spices. You'll get the cardamom in here as well. But then it mixes it in with, instead of going really more soup, well, it's very spicy, but then it's going to mix in the bergamot. You're going to get a neroli accord, which is a honeyed orange accord. So you're going to get some of those spring type notes in there with that neroli. It does have some tobacco in there, so if you are just really liking your tobacco fragrances, this one right here can carry you into the spring. It has the juniper berries in there, which gives it a nice cooling effect, which is really nice for those as it's starting to warm up a little bit. The juniper berries, they give cooling. They're kind of a piney gin. They give a nice cooling type of effect to it. And then as it dries down, you're going to get some tonka. You'll get some leather and some musk. So there's a number of accords in here. But the main thing is you're going to get some of the incense, some of the spiciness to it, mixed with that juniper berry, which cools it down. A little piney, which you think of spring, you think of the pine cones out. So I think this one is just a nice, good one. Strong fragrance, good for those cooler spring days. This one is still in that, usually you can get the smaller size for about $115 and then on up to $175 if you're getting a bigger bottle. So get your nose on that one. And sorry, my voice, I'm recovering from a cold, but my voice sounds a little raspy. Okay, so next one on the list is going to be by Xerjoff. This is 40 knots. 40 knots. Beautiful bottle. Solid cap here. This one right here, it's a number of people have been talking about 40 knots, and I think it's worth it. It is gives this floral sea breeze effect to it. It is woody. It has a saltiness to it. I wouldn't call it aquatic, but it definitely gives a nice kind of a sparkling iris in there as well. I don't know if iris is listed, but I get this sparkling effect to it. And then it's kind of warm, and you'll get a musk in there as well. It's very unique, very different. It's not like other fragrances. So I think if you want a little bit of uniqueness, this one is very versatile. I think you can wear it different times of the year. Definitely you can wear it here in the spring. But I love that floral sea breeze type of effect to it. And so this one, you can get this one in that $115 range. It is a nice fragrance. I think you should get your nose on it. I think all these are sample type of fragrances, so don't blind buy them. They're not, I wouldn't call them mass appealing, but I wouldn't call them, ones that are just only a few people like. I think a number of people like these fragrances, but I wouldn't call them mass appealing. So just keep your nose on that. I mean, not your nose on that, but just keep that in mind. Next one on the list here is going to be by Penhaligon. This is Sartorial. Penhaligon Sartorial. This right here is one of my favorite summer fragrances. This will probably, if I had to do a top 10 list of spring fragrances, this will be on my list. And I guess I need to do one of those lists. But this is definitely going to be it. If I had to pick a fragrance that describes me, this one would be one of those fragrances. This right here is a modern barbershop fougere type of fragrance. It is definitely opens up with the lavender. You'll get it mixed with the cardamom, and then you have this nice honey accord. So that's the main star players in this. Then you also have some metallic notes in there. So yeah, you'll get those metallic accords in there. You'll get some ambers and some warm, maybe some vanilla as it dries down. Maybe some leather nuances in there as well. But Penhaligon Sartorial, you can see I put a nice dent in this bottle. It's an old school vibe, but it doesn't make you smell old, but it's an old school vibe. As I said, a modern day barbershop fragrance. This one is just one of the ones I just love to wear this. And it will project nicely off your skin in the spring. Get your nose on that if that's up your alley. Run you about $100 to $140, depending on the size and where you get it. I always try to leave some websites to where I'm getting these. And next on the list here is I'm not going to talk much about it. Video is running a little long, but I've been away for a while, so I have a lot to say. This one is just Layton. Parfum de Marly, Layton. I don't have to talk much about this. It's talked about a lot. I think this one performs very nicely in the spring and in the summer. It's all about the apple, the lavender. It has a bergamot and orange accord in there as well. You're going to get the cardamom when it dries down. You'll get a little sandalwood, some vanilla, some patchouli, but it's all about that apple lavender vibe. Compliment getting, I'd say blind buy worthy in my opinion, but sample is always the best because you never know. And the price range, it's in that $150 range, but it just depends. A lot of times Jomashop will have it on sale, so check that out. I don't want to talk much about that. And then this might be my last one. This is Ursa. This is Ursa right here, and you've probably heard some people talk about this. Tiziana Terenzi, and it's Ursa, unique bottle. But this one right here is one, I don't call it blind buy worthy, but if you like Straight to Heaven Extreme, if you ever got your nose on that, I do have Straight to Heaven Extreme, and it is one of my most special fragrances of all time. This one right here is right up that alley, Straight to Heaven. It opens up with the dried fruits, so you're going to get the kind of a fig and apricot type of accords in there. So it's kind of a sticky sweet fragrance. You're going to get the rum, so you're going to get that syrupy vanilla type of vibe in there as well. There's a little oud in here. You'll get some patchouli, which gives it a nice rich sweet woodiness to it. I enjoy it. It really is one of my wife's favorite fragrances, for what that's worth. But I think, because it has that oud in there, and because it could be a little bit challenging to certain people, I do think you would want to sample this one. But it is definitely a special fragrance. I enjoy it. And if you want to if you haven't been able to get your nose on straight to heaven extreme, Ursa should do the trick. You can get that fragrance for about $100 on up to maybe 125. Usually it's in that range, so I think it's definitely well worth it. And I think that's all I'll go over right now, as we've gone over, I don't know, maybe 9 or 10 strong spring fragrances for you all to get your nose on. So I hope you all will get a sample. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe. I will be coming back with some more videos and trying to post a little bit more regularly. So anyways, that's about all I have to say. Hope you all are doing well. This is Marvin with Preaching Sense. Catch you on the next video.